morning, seniors. We have a real treat this morning. We have with us Lieutenant Maddox from the Cobb County K-9 unit, and he's here to give us some information about the K-9 unit as well as to introduce some of the K-9s to us and show us an example of what they do and what they're capable of.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I'm Lieutenant Maddox. I've been with the police department for 25 years. The last 7 I've been in the K-9 unit, which were probably my favorite times in the police department. Just being able to work with a dog and do that on a daily basis is the most fun I've ever had in my career. It's very rewarding when you work in a team environment. You get to do that every day for a living. And if it is a bad day at all, you get to go to the park and throw the ball, and all your stresses are gone for the day. We currently have 10 dogs in our unit. Each dog is assigned a handler. Of those dogs, 3 are explosive detection dogs, 6 are patrol apprehension dogs. They catch felony suspects such as armed robbery, murder, stolen cars. And then my dog, K-9 Coda, is a narcotics tracking dog that doesn't apprehend suspects. So the 10 dogs we have are really a full-time, everyday thing we do, keeping them going and working. Our dogs work from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. on different shifts, trying to cover the biggest part of the day we can for the patrol officers. What our unit does is really back up the precincts and special units as they go throughout their day and have a need for a dog. And people often ask when do your dogs get used? Like, what do you do? An officer stops a car, through what his investigation, he thinks there's narcotics in the vehicle. He would ask for consent to search, and the person says no. We can bring one of our trained narcotics dogs out. They do detection, and we'll go around the car, and if they alert, we have the right to search the car at that point. Our dogs are trained on cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, and marijuana. And just this year alone, our dogs will receive 45 pounds of narcotics off the streets of Cobb County. That's a street value of just over $800,000.
Wow.
They've seized 14 guns and $55,000 in cash from drug transactions. So they pay for themselves.
Yeah, they
pay
do.
for themselves.
Yeah.
Each of our dogs are hand selected by our unit from a vendor. They're all born in Europe and are brought over to the United States to be police dogs. We go down and test the dogs, kind of see if they're scared of the slick floor, or they jump up in chairs, or they do all the things we ask them to do. And once we select them, they're picked for what their role is going to be, if they're going to be an explosive dog or patrol dog. And then they start their career with the police department. They go through a 6-week school initially, and then 6 weeks of training with another officer, so 12 weeks total, where they are get trained and certified. Then they are paired with an experienced canine handler to continue for 6 more weeks. So 3 months every day doing canine stuff, getting the dog ready to work on the road. And it's really rewarding. We just finished our first canine school that the police department put on this year. One of our dogs, newest dogs, went out on patrol the other day, K-9 Odin, and started in Abernathy. Guy ran from a stolen car on Windy Hill Road. They went out and tracked him and found him, arrested him. You think there's not a whole lot to that. The guy was wanted for murder out of Pennsylvania, and we were able to extradite him back up there and face the charges he had. He had been on the run for a couple of weeks, and he didn't even know that was going on. The dog went out and found him hiding in the woods. So it's very, very rewarding in what we do. Our explosive detection dogs, we have 3 explosive detection dogs that work every home Braves game and all the events of the battery and everything else in the county. I've lived in Cobb County my whole life. You kind of don't think of the county being as big as it is now, but you have the stadium, Galleria, CPAC, the Performing Arts Center. There's a lot of events going on continuously. Our dogs work with that stuff all the time and making sure people are safe as they come in and out of the Braves games, attend the game, all the other things going on. Every presidential visit, we usually do route sweeps. When the president comes to town, we'll take our dogs, go out in front of the route and check everything that they're going to be driving through. So it's amazing what they do, and they do that all with their nose. So we do a lot of demonstrations every year to the kids and get involved. Probably one of our favorite is Science Palooza at one of the middle schools. You get to kind of go out, and the kids really get into what the dogs, how they work, and what their noses smell and how they find stuff. It's very rewarding. So I'm very proud of our guys. We have an outstanding unit, and they do a great job.
Yeah, well, we're really thankful for your unit, and the next time I'm sitting at a Braves game and I feel safe, I'll know that, that your unit was protecting us, and they do a lot more than I think a lot of us are even aware of.
Yeah, we usually have 600 deployments a year, so our dogs are deployed about 600 times a year.
Wow.
As a unit. So from the 10 dogs, They're going out pretty much every day, a couple times a day.
That's
So
amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, and Lieutenant Maddox was telling me, really interesting, when was the program started, the K-9 unit? When?
1986.
Since 1986, not one dog has ever been lost in service, so that's an amazing.
No, we
Oh,
the county does it.
Rewind.
The
Sorry.
county,
You wanna stop it, or he'll stop it and start it again? Okay, explain that to me.
which one?
Well, that it started in.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so have you ever lost a dog in service during? No.
No, the county has done a great job of providing for our dogs of the year. We're also accept donations in our unit, so we're the only unit in the police department that has a revenue source outside of the police department.
Okay.
So citizens can donate into our unit.
Okay.
One of our new dogs, K-9 Jax, was actually donated by a very sweet senior citizen in Mapleton. She donated $30,000 to pay for everything that the dog needed when we purchased him. It was named after her husband, who was named Jack. So he's K-9 Jax.
Wow,
So,
that's really neat. Yeah.
but we keep the dogs very safe. Every one of our dogs has a alarm on our belt. It gives us the temperature of the car, so we know what the temperature in the car is right now. It's 70 degrees in my car, so I know she's safe. If the temperature gets too hot in the car, it'll go off. And so we have ballistic vests for our dogs. We have pretty much everything. They need to be as safe as they can doing their job. Unfortunately, dogs do get hurt when they're out in the job because they're out in front. They're really out leading the officers in the right direction. It's amazing when you work with them, and it may not be my dog doing it, but you have another officer's dog doing the job. You can watch what's happening with that dog because we kind of all know each other.
Mhm.
We're very much a pack, I guess, if you look at it that way.
Mhm.
You can see what that dog's doing and how he's doing his job. So we try to be as safe as possible in everything we do. The heat's a big thing, especially in Georgia, with
Yeah.
the summertime. So
Yeah.
even with the mom dogs.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
we're getting a little demonstration today, and we really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.